Hello everyone, how are you? So today I'm sitting in my childhood room here in Israel. As you can see, that's my little girl, my inner child, my cute little lilac. So it's going to be a little weird, interesting, probably very intense subject I want to speak about today. And that is the subject of the state of Israel. And I'm going to, again, speak about it from the perspective of the mother, from the perspective that I am getting the information about, which is the divine feminine and masculine, and how Israel is connected to the divine feminine and masculine energies that are happening in the universe right now, and to our awakening, to the awakening of humankind. So I wrote a lot of things for me to read from. So I hope you don't mind if I read a little bit today, because I don't want to forget anything that I want to say. And sometimes I get excited and I'm all over the place. So I want to be very to the point today. And yeah, because it is a very, very important subject that I wanted to speak about for a long time. And I'm here, I'm visiting my home country, and I wanted to do this today because it feels right. So what is the spiritual role of the state of Israel as we know it today? So Israel is literally, even on our map, is the center of the world. And it represents the war, the spiritual war, and of course the physical war, because we know that the spiritual world and the physical world are just mirrors of each other. It represents the war between the East and the West, the masculine and feminine, light and dark, whatever you want to call it. So that is why the biggest war and the biggest conflict energetically and physically is happening on this land, on this tiny little slither of land. Like, it's tiny, people. You have no idea how tiny Israel is. And it's causing so much commotion in the world. So the Palestinian-Israeli war, it represents this internal war that is coming to this final battle. Remember, I spoke about the dark masculine and the dark feminine that are, and this dark masculine is really, really pushing for this final battle. He wants to win the war. And it was going on for so long, more than centuries. But in terms of the universe, it is really if you look at like in a movie, like in a sci-fi movie, it's the last act. We're in the last act of this never-ending war, okay? Between the masculine and the divine masculine and feminine. Not the divine masculine and feminine, sorry, they're not in war, but the dark masculine and feminine, the dark and the light, it's crazy, okay? And we feel it, we know it, we see it. So let's begin. So the world is divided into East and West. This world, by the way, this world of this matrix, this illusionary world we're living in is always in division, because the darkness always wants to divide energies. It doesn't want to unite. What I want to awaken people to is this unity of the divine feminine and masculine in the world. First of all, it has to be within us. But this dark masculine, the dark side, whatever you want to call it, it works on division. It works on fear and division. So that's why we see a division of Palestinian Arabic. And also in Israel itself, the Arabs are completely divided within themselves. There's so many groups. And the Israelis are so divided within themselves because there's so many groups. And it's one big division. Like, everyone's fighting each other. Like, even me, you see my energy. My energy is like, even if I'm happy, I'm always in this like crazy ecstatic energy, because I was born and raised in a place. That's why I had to leave Israel. By the way, I couldn't be here for too long because the energies here are so intense. You always, even the people here in the street, they're so kind, they're so nice, they're so warm, but they're always in the state, in this, and unfortunately I can feel it because I'm super sensitive to that. They're always in this state of defending themselves. We're always in this war and we're not even aware of it. We're like in this internal war, and we always have to put a band, like a wall, and defend ourselves all the time. That's why we sound so like passionate when we speak all the time. And okay. So the West side of the world of Israel, doesn't matter what you want to, just this is the West, this division represents the masculine approach to life, which is we have to fight for what we need. You know, there's no spirit, there's no nothing. We just have to fight for what we want, and we have to work hard, and we get it. And then the East is more of the feminine approach of we get what we put out energetically, you know, like, and there is a higher source, and we just have to flow, like let it flow and not resist this life force and just be. And you know, and we see that in the west side of the world, we reached like a lot of material achievements, you know, but we kind of were lacking the spiritual feminine side. So now a lot of people in the West are looking for that spirituality. You know, we're seeking for it. We're craving it more and more. And then on the East side of the world, they didn't have a lot of physical material achievements until now. So, but they did have the more feminine approach. So now they are waking up. They want to get more material, you know, like more knowledge, more power, more everything. So we're seeing that balance dancing happening right now, and we're seeing it in men and women. You know, you can see this. Men are becoming more feminine, which is not the best thing, but it has to happen for this. You know, we're in this time of, you know, we were here, it was totally unbalanced. Now we're here, and it's totally unbalanced to the other side. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get to this place. Hopefully soon. Yeah, so women, we already had to become a lot more masculine, and we started this like masculine awakening in us, you know, in the 60s, the 70s, and now the men are becoming so much more feminine. Of course, the men are always a little bit behind. We know that. We love you guys, but you know, it is what it is. So, so they're becoming so much more feminine. That's why a lot of women are like, fuck it, I don't even want a man right now because there are no men. Where are they? Where are you? So they're either still stuck in the dark masculine, which is super dark masculine, like no respect for women, even if they're not aware of it, or there's so much on the other side and they went to more feminine. So, but the divine man is like, where is he? So, I'm sorry, I love you guys. It's just, I'm trying to make it light and funny. So in the East, so, sorry, we spoke about that. I'm sorry, I'm going with my notes because I don't want to miss anything today. So both of these approaches are wrong and right at the same time, you know, because there's no one actually that feels like the West doesn't really feel the East, and the East doesn't feel the West. They're like stuck in their place. They're trying to go to the other side. There's no unity. The key is unity. The key is that we have to discover the other side of us that wasn't really fulfilled. So if I am a very, very feminine woman, I'm going to go and search for my masculine side. And I'm going to not balance. Fuck balance. I'm going to unite them. I'm going to be one all the time, feminine and masculine. I'm going to unite them within me. Obviously, if I'm a woman, I'm going to totally live my femininity. That's gonna be what leads me. It's a very, very interesting dance, which I am still kind of dancing within myself as well. And I see that the moments that I'm united within myself, but still in my feminine power, because I'm a woman, I chose to be a woman in this life, everything kind of flows in my life, you know? But I still have my fears. I still have my old beliefs and systems that I kind of fall into sometimes. Anyway, back to the point. See, I told you I'm all over the place. There's so many things in my head at one time. So, Israel is the center of the world, right between the East and the West. It is the place that the masculine and feminine energies kind of unite, and they can contain both approaches. And that is why everyone is so interested in like what's going on in Israel. And everyone seems to think that they know what's happening in Israel and they can speak about it all the time. But really, guys, no one knows. Even people who live here don't really know what's happening. Okay. That's why everyone feels the need to judge, and they think they know everything, and you're doing damage. You know, people who just judge and speak out and blur out words of hate and judgment, they really, I'm sorry, but they cause a lot of damage to this country and to the entire world. Because like I'm going to speak, this country is connected to the entire world. The fate of Israel is the fate of the entire world. Period. I'm going to say it again. The fate of Israel is the fate of the entire world. So the Jewish people like to speak about the chosen people. And it is a very misleading idea that the chosen people are only Jews. It's so not the case. On a spiritual level, there are the chosen people is a real thing, but it's not Jewish people, okay? The chosen people are people who can spiritually listen to this and try to just be open-minded and take it in, okay? Even you Jews around in the world who hear me and are like, fuck that lady. The chosen people are people who can spiritually unite the divine feminine and masculine within them. Should I repeat this? The chosen people who are the people who are spiritually can unite the divine feminine and the divine masculine within them. Okay? Because this is what Israel wants and needs. And that's why a lot of people are attracted to Israel. They want to come here, or they just want to speak about it, or they want to learn what's going on here. They're excited about this country because there is some energetic force that is happening here. There's a lot of things actually, but I can't speak about everything in one video because I will drive you insane. So a chosen person will unite harmoniously. Again, it's not a balancing thing, it's unity. These are the people who will create God energy, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it, in the physical world. And it has to do, never mind, that's actually something I'm going to talk about later. So like I said, in Israel, it's not only the Palestinians and Israelis that are divided. There's division everywhere here. And even if I speak to people, I see Arabs, I see Israelis, and you even look at one person and you speak to one person and there is division in that one person. We're very divided. There is an internal war that's happening within everyone here, like a really, really intense one. And they're not even aware of it. They're just walking around not aware of it. So if we can find unity in Israel and peace here, I am telling you, it will affect the entire world. And and again, it's not about religion, guys. Get religion has to die. For this unity to happen, to really happen, people have to let go of religion, the religious idea. And I'm sorry to say this because I know a lot of religious people who are the most amazing people I've met. But we have to let go of that idea because it still contains division. It still divides us from others on a very basic level. So if Israel is not going to come to this unity, unfortunately, the only outcome for the future that I can see in my visions right now that I'm getting, and I've been getting this vision for years and it hasn't changed, unfortunately. We're going to this one-way street kind of. It's a world war. It's a third world war, you can call it, and it's a complete destruction. It's chaos. It's so dark. We've never been in that dark. We've never been heading to such a dark place, I think. And I think it's because the light is so close and it's so alive in all of us. And this, like I said, this dark masculine, which I call the dark masculine energies, is trying its last battle. It's really trying everything. It's giving all, it's giving all its weapons and all its hate and all just everything. So we have to give it everything. We literally have to wake the fuck up and give everything. So I wrote a little letter to all awakening souls, and I'm going to read it to you. It's a very short letter. I just wanted to say it right. So to all you awakened souls, volunteers, chosen ones, I urge you to stop judging the situation in the country of Israel from afar. The only way that you can actually help the situation in Israel, in the world, is to send your love and light and protection to all the people here, Palestinians and Israelis alike. I ask you to understand and admit the fact that you might not know what is actually happening here. None of us do, really. No one here knows. Even most people that live here don't know what's going on here. Everyone has their own story, trauma, fear regarding to the situation. I ask everyone to envision a white dome of light encircling this land and the entire Middle East with white light, and to ask for protection to all men, women, and children. I ask for you to do your own work, uniting your own divine masculine and feminine within you, and to see how that unity is happening in this country and affecting the entire world. It is such a small country, and it is easy to focus our energy on such a small place and to put our attention on a small point of interest. So if we use this method, and we can help this country on our spiritual path, and it will mirror the entire world. So that's my little letter to you. Now, if I take you to those brave ones who are extremely open-minded, I will take you a little further. And this is something I've been meaning to start talking about, and it's scary to talk about this because people think I'm crazy anyway already. So, but I really come to the point where I don't give a shit what people think. I love you, but I'm not here to be loved. I'm here to speak the truth. So there are many portals on this planet, on this planet, and a big one is in Israel. And in the Middle East, there are a lot of portals, a lot, really intense ones. That's why, whatever you want to call them, Illuminati or blah, 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 these stupid people, that's why they want to control this land, and that's why they create war here, because they want dark, low vibration of fear energy to rule this place, because that helps open those portals that they specifically seek. I hope you got that. I'm going to speak about it more in the future. And not just Israel, but, like I said, a lot of places in the Middle East, many dark entities, which you call demons, are roaming the spirit world right now, all over the world, and they're trying to get into our plane, into our dimension. Many have already succeeded. Human beings are in such low vibration, and I see all the time people who are possessed by demons, all the time, every day. If you can see the energies on this world, like I can see them, and there are a few people on this planet that can actually see it, you will not be able to, most people will not be able to take it. I wanted to take my own life many times. It's just because I don't see, because it takes my hope away. It's really scary what's happening on a spiritual level. So I don't want to get into that place right now of myself. I want to keep high vibration right now. So, all right. So it's just horrific, really, what's happening, and we are destroying our souls by like the very nature of being a human being right now. By like very dark technology, by wicked science, the way I call it, by a horrible misuse of sexual energies, and the way we treat animals. Like I repeat that a lot in my videos. The way we treat animals and the way we use sex. If we change these two things, it's done. The darkness cannot enter us. It's done. We go into the fifth dimension. I promise you guys. These two things. So this must change now if we wanna change this path that we're heading to, that I told you about. This one-way street. This has to change now, and it has to change with every one of you. You can't just say, "Oh, everyone's doing that, so I'm just going to keep doing that." No. If you want to go into another plane of dimension, if you do not want to go into that nightmare, you got to change now. Right now. Not in 5 minutes. Right now. You got to make the decision. And you must choose to be a chosen one. You choose to be the chosen one. You're not a chosen one by another force. You are a chosen one because your soul chooses you to be a chosen one. So it's your decision right now. And yeah, there's no more time for excuses, guys. There is no more time for excuses. That's why even though this scares me to speak about these things, I chose to speak about these things. And yeah, I do it for mostly, I'm going to be honest, I do it mostly for children and animals. I don't really have hope for grown-ups anymore. I think that we're all wounded children inside, but the grown-ups have destroyed this world way too much. And I work with children and I see the potential in them. I see the light that they bring, and I just ask us to like leave them alone and let them do what they do and not destroy them right when they enter this world. So that was my speech about Israel. And from my little inner child and myself, and my sleeping cat right there, which you can't see him, I love you all. I am a servant of the Mother, and I pray for the awakening of all men, women, and children on planet Earth. Thank you so much.